Oh boy, okay guys, so this whole situation with Deino in 7 km eggs during the Ultra Unlock week, yeah, it just went from bad to worse. So the Silph Road did a big case study. They hatched a whole bunch of eggs in order to find out what the actual hatch rates are for all of the different Pokemon coming out of 7 km eggs. And what they found was extremely alarming. Now, the community is in an uproar right now because of the Deino hatch rate. It's no secret right now that Niantic completely nickeled and dimed us this week. And yeah, I really haven't seen the community this negative in some time. So this is definitely something we really need to talk about. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today I'm going to be talking about the hatch rate that was recently discovered regarding Deino in 7 km eggs. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, a lot of players were suspecting that it was in the low 2 to 1%, and it turns out they were right because the Silph Road, they did a whole big case study trying to figure out the different hatch rates for all of the different Pokemon, and the results are alarming. So when it comes to Deino, what they discovered out of 466 egg hatches is that Deino was hatching at a rate of about 1.1%, which is extremely low considering that this is essentially our only way of picking up Deino during this Dragon Week event. Now, of course, when it comes to Deino, this is an extremely rare Pokemon at the level of Gible. It's extremely unlikely that you will ever come across a Deino in the wild. So, of course, when it comes to this event, a lot of people were thinking that this was our chance to get a whole bunch of Deino candies. And unfortunately, the only way we could potentially get a whole bunch of Deino candies was through egg hatching. And yeah, of course, there were 2 Deinos that we could get through the limited special research, but 2 Deinos compared to a whole bunch of Deinos from egg hatching, a lot of people were really looking forward to the egg hatching. And of course, Niantic did announce that Deino would be the new shiny for this week. So of course, a lot of people were hyped up. They were anticipating getting a shiny Deino. They were spending a whole bunch of money stocking up on incubators. And a lot of people really thought that this was their chance of picking up a shiny Deino. But as the story unfolded, of course, Deino was an extremely rare hatch out of 7 km eggs. And even though people were hatching hundreds of 7 km eggs at this point, none of them were even hatching one Deino. Now, of course, this caused a huge uproar within the Pokemon Go community, and when it came to Niantic, they've been radio silent when it came to the hatch rate of Deino. For a lot of people, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of players have been voicing a lot of different frustrations when it came to Pokemon Go, and with this Dragon Week and with these Deino hatch rates, yeah, a lot of players were just fed up with Niantic, and most are calling it quits. And to be honest with you, I don't blame you. I mean, for them to announce that Deino was going to be the new shiny and that it was going to be available only through 7 km eggs aside from the 2 Deino we were going to get from the limited research, yeah, it really was a greedy move, and you really can't deny that. A lot of players are really upset about this, and no matter how much Niantic would try to sugarcoat it and hide it, it's not going to fool anyone. A lot of players feel completely ripped off because, of course, a lot of them were buying a whole bunch of incubators in hopes of picking up a shiny Deino, and they can't even hatch a regular Deino. Now, just to speak on my own experiences, I've hatched about 87 km eggs at this point since the beginning of the Dragon Week, and I've only gotten about 3 Deino, and I consider myself pretty lucky there. While I was really hoping to get a shiny Deino, even a whole bunch of Deino candies, I really can't complain because out of all of my egg hatches, I did end up getting a Hundo Gible, and I know a lot of people would rather have that than any Deino, but for me personally, I still feel like there was a big level of disappointment when it came to these egg hatches. I was really hoping that 7 km eggs would be exciting. Yes, I was expecting to get a whole bunch of trash Pokemon, but I was still expecting to get more Gibbles and more Deinos that I ended up getting. I think if I got Deinos at the same rate I was getting Gibbles, I would have been a lot more satisfied and I wouldn't have been complaining. But because I only got 3 Deinos out of all of my egg hatches, I somewhat feel like all of the money that I spent on super incubators just essentially got wasted. So yeah, I feel like a lot of players are feeling the same way. Now, if we look at the Silph Road case study, we see that they hatched about 466 eggs. Now, for the most part, this is a pretty small sample size, but I think it's a big enough number that you could get a pretty accurate range of what the actual hatch rates are for all of the different Pokemon. You could see right here that Dratini is at the very top, followed by Horsey, and then Trapinch, and Bagon, and Swablu. Those are the most common spawns that you can get from 7km eggs, and this is alarming right here. You could see that Gible is at about a 10% rate, which is pretty normal for a rare Pokemon out of a 7km egg, but Deino is at an abysmal 1.1%. Now, this makes little sense to me, especially because they hyped up this one Pokemon so much for this week. One of the big criticisms that players have been voicing is that it really felt like we unlocked yet another paywall. A lot of players really wanted to unlock the Dragon Week, anticipating that it was going to be a phenomenal event. I mean, we did have similar unlocks last year with Pokemon Go Fest, and those events did live up to the hype. But when it came to Dragon Week, it was just disappointment after disappointment. Not only were the spawns a little lackluster, but when it came to Gible raids, which was supposed to be a speciality of this event, we're not even seeing a whole bunch of Gible raids either. And then, of course, with the introduction of this new shiny, Deino, yeah, a lot of players are really frustrated that they're not even able to get regular Deinos. And I've mentioned this before, but when it comes to Deino, this is a rare Pokemon that's at the level of Gible in terms of wild spawns. Outside of this event, we're probably not going to see a whole bunch of Deinos. So this was an opportunity for players to stock up on Deino candies for them to actually evolve and power up a Deino if they ever get a good one. But that's simply just not the case, because even regular Deinos are not hatching from these 7km eggs. Now, all of this seems to culminate to a point that I've been bringing up on Twitter, and that is that I really feel like Niantic needs to give up putting event Pokemon in 7km eggs. Yeah, I know it's a huge cash cow for them, but I really think that the negative sentiments that it creates with the community just simply is not worth it. For the last couple of different egg events now, a lot of people have been feeling ripped off because, of course, super incubators are the most expensive thing you could get in the Poke Shop right now. And when it comes to a majority of these egg events, a lot of people feel like what they're paying is not paying off. A lot of people are dedicating a lot of their money into these super incubators and they're expecting certain results. But no matter how many incubators they buy, they're not getting those results. So this is a case where Niantic really isn't respecting the consumer base, and it's just a big detriment to the perception that the community has towards Niantic. Now, I've been saying this for some time now on my videos, but I feel like Niantic is on a slippery slope when it comes to greediness. I mean, a lot of game studios fell from the good graces of their communities because of greed. Blizzard Entertainment, I mean, a lot of these companies are just struggling right now because they had some shady monetization practices and they doubled down on a lot of different greed. So I really feel like Niantic is starting to slope into this sort of culture, and it's just a big detriment for the future of this game. Up until now, Niantic has had no problems making a boatload of money from the community, and I really don't think it's absolutely necessary for them to go down these shady, greedy monetization ways. It's only going to create a huge divide within the community, and a lot of people are just going to speak with their wallets and not buy incubators. They're not going to fall for it anymore. And when it comes to these 7km eggs, I think this is the last time that a lot of players are going to dedicate a lot of their resources to incubators. I mean, it's really unfortunate because if they were to actually increase the rate, even just increase the rate of getting regular Deinos, I think more people would have been satisfied enough. But the fact that we're not even getting regular Deinos is enough for people to not want to ever buy incubators ever again. It's not just Dragon Week that they've essentially ruined with this event. It's actually just hatching eggs itself. I mean, even for myself, the thought of hatching eggs eggs after this event just seems like such a nightmare as opposed to something that's supposed to be really exciting. If people are spending money in this game, then you have to make the rewards reasonable. If you keep giving them trash Pokemon out of eggs, it's only going to make them detest your game, and it's going to create this negative sentiment that's just going to continue to grow and fester until it eventually blows up. And with this egg event, I really feel like we're already starting to reach that point. So Niantic really needs to course correct when it comes to 7km eggs. I just think that they should avoid putting any kind of event Pokemon in them for right now, and I really feel like for the next couple of events, they need to boost the shiny rates, they need to boost the level at which we can get rare Pokemon, and just make us just appreciate the game even more. I've been saying this for a while now, just devaluing shinies and devaluing certain rare Pokemon is not ever going to be a problem, only because there's always going to be rare Pokemon that we can get. With every generation, there's a couple of Pokemon that you could potentially make as rare as Gible. So for even Pokemon like Gible to have their rarity devalued over time, that's not necessarily a problem. But if you overdo it and you make it frustrating for players, yeah, that is what's going to be a problem. But these are just my own thoughts and opinions regarding all of this. Again, I just feel like what the Silph Road found was just extremely alarming. It's definitely not consumer friendly, and I feel like Niantic did a really big misstep with this whole thing. But I would love to know your thoughts down below, and I'm really hoping that this is the last video I make regarding this whole Deino situation, and I really hope that Niantic makes it up to us with some phenomenal events in the future. But definitely share your thoughts down below. This is definitely a hot topic right now, so I would love to know the community's thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here. I'm Count Jinsula, and I'll catch you all later.